everyone's favorite dad, George McFly, in the first national tour of Back to the Future, the musical. When not on stage, you may catch him playing Dungeons and Dragons. Please welcome to the stage, Burke Swanson. Woo! Yes. Okay, now for a brand new character, Patty Newby. She gained recognition as the star of Nickelodeon's That Girl Lele, making history with the network's first series featuring 2 Black female leads. Gabrielle also made history as the first woman and the first Black woman to call an NFL wildcard game on CBS. She's hosted major events like the 2022 Kids' Choice Awards, the Nickelodeon Slime Cup, and Nick News. Please welcome to the stage, Gabrielle Nevaeh. And finally, the thrilling and complex Dr. Brenner in Stranger Things, The First Shadow. Fun fact, Alex Breaux holds the distinction of being the only actor who will be in both the stage play and the television series. Breaux will be featured as another character, Lieutenant Akers, in the 5th and final season of Stranger Things, written and created by the Duffer Brothers. Please welcome our final guest, Alex Breaux. All right. So let's get into it, okay? Stranger Things, The First Shadow is set in Hawkins in 1959. How did you approach creating younger versions of the existing characters that feel true to the world of Stranger Things, while also feeling true to what you as artists wanted to bring to each of the characters?
Who wants to go first?
So Hopper is certainly one of my favorite characters from the TV show. My sister and I have been watching this since 2016 on our couch, middle of the night. We would watch one episode a night to try to come up with the theories every single night. So coming into this, I felt like I had such a respect for the character anyway, and such an appreciation for the character. So how was I going to take that and then sort of build it into what we needed to do, which is, no one wants to come and see an impersonation on stage. You want to see the character continuing to live. And with this being an origin story 30 years prior, this is 1959, they're in high school. Hopper hasn't been to Vietnam. Hopper doesn't have a kid yet. Hopper hasn't been an undercover cop yet. There's lots of things in his life as an adult that we have not yet experienced, but he's a kid who's in an abusive relationship with his father and, trying to get out of this very small town that happens to be very, very spoopy. So there's all sorts of things to pick up from that. And when you've got, Allison Jay playing Joyce Maldonado and Patrick Scott McDermott playing Bob Newby, the rest is pretty fun and playful. We're definitely the Scooby-Doo element of the show.
I love that. So let me ask you this, without giving away any spoilers, can you share something about your character's journey that fans would be especially excited to see unfold on stage?
Oh, yeah.
I guess I'll take this one. Yeah, so I'm Gabrielle. I play Patty Newby. She's a new character in the Stranger Things universe. So Patty is very resilient. She doesn't give up on what she believes in. And she meets Henry, essentially, as this new kid that she doesn't quite understand. Something's weird, something's different, but she likes that. They're both broken spirits. Patty has a really hard life. Her dad hates her. Her brother is no longer around. She has no friends. She's also seen as a bit of a freak and a weirdo because she doesn't know who her mom is. She's an orphan. So she meets Henry, and she recognizes that he's also a broken spirit. He also has troubles at home, and he has this supernatural element about him that he doesn't quite understand. And through their relationship, they start off as friends, and then she slowly falls in love with him because she recognizes that there is good in him, and she tries to show him a better way of life and find that goodness that she somehow found within herself. And I'm excited for those who have not seen the play to come watch Stranger Things, The First Shadow, because through Patty and Henry's relationship, we get to explore the nobility and the loss of a childlike innocence with Henry Creel, who we later know as Vecna.
So, yes. So speaking of finding that goodness in Louie, this question is for you. Are people born wicked? Or do they have wickedness thrust upon them?
Nah. He's just misunderstood, man.
Listen, because I was rooting for Henry, okay? Like, I literally, #1 fan, I was like, he's gonna come out to the other side. Like, I really believed that he was good. Now, again, reminder, I didn't see the Netflix series, right? So I was in the play like, he's gonna be okay, and then he wasn't. He just wasn't. So can you just talk to me a little bit about Henry's journey? How do you find his humanity? How do you find, what makes him good?
It's really interesting with him because he's got such a dichotomy to him. There's two sides to him. Obviously, there's humanity on his left side, and there's the mind flare, the upside down, how he wants to kill, how it makes him feel good, it makes him feel like he has control, how he's important, how he's revered, how he's liked. And in school, we meet, obviously with Patty Newby and Henry, you get to see a lot of that innocence. But with Alex and I, a lot of the stuff that we do on stage, we do this, it's a psychological, very human look at how somebody becomes Vecna. And you get to see this kid essentially grow up as he's grappling with power and these thoughts and these feelings of carnage and violence, and how deep inside he's actually a really good kid. Because I was talking about this earlier, but I was doing a scene once, and we were I think it was like church or something, and we were working, it was me, Patty, and like Justin or Steven, our directors, and I did something, and they were like, no, turn it down, like bring it down a lot. And I was like, really? And I did it, and then I went to Kate, our writer, and I was like, so if he didn't have these powers, he'd be a good kid. And she was like, yeah, it's really that simple. He has two people inside of him at all times, telling him different things, wanting him to do different things, and that's what you get to see about the plays. It's so interesting and powerful and emotional and heartbreaking to see this kid go down this dark alley and like it in the end.
That really just breaks my heart. I still am not over it. I wish all of you could have been there when I finished watching the play, because I had so much hope for you, for your character, and I guess we'll have to wait and see what the full evolution is at the end of season 5. So we will see. All right, so this question is for you, Burke. All of you are my favorite, truly, but Burke, you're my favorite to the second power. So from the first time that I saw Stranger Things on Broadway to the final season of season 4, final episode of season 4, Hopper has been the character that I've wanted to protect at all costs, okay? Because Hopper, he's such a complex, dare I say, deeply flawed individual, but you want to see him win because ultimately, deep down, you know that he's a good guy. And we know this because of how you build his character in your performance. Can you talk about any choices that you're making in your performance that signal to Hopper and who he eventually becomes?
Oh, what a beautiful question that is. Partly because I think what our job as actors is to express the entirety of human being, and I know that each of us in this room has sides of ourselves that we adore and would love to celebrate and would love to promote within the any public space. And there's many sides of us who we would maybe rather hide or we would rather forget about. And Hopper is no different than that. Hopper, I think, is in a situation in which he does not feel that he should be or could be even remotely a part of a community. And in the TV show, what I think David Harbour does so brilliantly is the ways in which he fights so valiantly for his community. And I think that is what we see and what we love about Hopper, is that we know that behind this tough exterior, we have somebody who's willing to literally lay down his life multiple times over in order to save them and save the day. And in our show, we get to see the very, very beginning of that. We get to see him learn what it could be like to have friends, to have community, to feel safe, to be able to share what he is feeling in a most intimate way possible. And even having the ability to plant the seeds that David Harbour gets to see come to fruition is really such a gift. And our writer, Kate Treefry, was just adamant about exploring every aspect of this character. And so I think that for those who love and don't know Hopper, you're going to get to see sides of him that will make you fall in love with him even more, and make us hope that some of those flaws he will finally let go of. It's okay. We all deserve to be happy and to meet the most positive version of ourselves out in the world, and Hopper's having a 30-year go at trying to learn that lesson. And so, this is just the beginning.
So speaking of what you were saying about Hopper constantly wanting to lay his life on the line and, kind of save everybody, where do you think that comes from? Because there have been so many moments, in the show, on Broadway, and also in the Netflix series where I've been like, Hopper, please, for the love of God, can you just,
Please pause.
not?
Yeah. Like, could you take a moment? I think in the TV show, one of the most important scenes when I was going back and rewatching was season 2 with Sean Astin as Bob. And that moment when they're in the lab, they're in Brenner's lab, and the Demodogs have come in, and they're attempting to get back downstairs. Hopper immediately grabs the gun and goes, and Bob looks at him and says, "You simply do not have the knowledge in order to do this." And in that moment, he hands the gun to Bob, and he says, "Then you need to do it." And in that moment, we see the beginning of that in our show. We see somebody who is actually afraid of blood, somebody who's very scared of the house, does not want to be doing any of these spooky things, somebody who is actually very much a scaredy cat, and we get to watch that character see strength in other people. I think, Patty, as one of the new characters, Patty is one of our leads for a reason. Patty is an incredibly strong character, right? Somebody who is able to vocalize what they need and set their boundaries and follow through with them. And that conflict that Hopper has to go up against of all these people who have come into themselves faster than he has is teaching him again and again and again, I want to do that, I want to be that, I need to step up. And Bob does that in our show as well, And I think all of those lessons lead to a Hopper who sometimes just should say no and can't.
Yeah. Oh.
Could I add something to that?
Please do.
I think in our stage play, the homage to the TV show is that for all the characters, there are these opportunities or steps towards courage that I find incredibly moving. And I think Hopper, and Patty especially, and Henry Creel is also, he's fighting this inner conflict I think we all have, where we have our coarser impulses and these more positive, generous impulses. So I think these kind of universal themes that we love in the TV show, Kate Tree Fry, who wrote for the TV show, is the third Duffer brother, in my opinion, brought to our show. So I hope you come see it.
Yeah.
Okay, Alex, I have a question for you.
Bring it on.
Now, this may be a hot take, but I think Brenner is more of a villain than Henry. He's just like, I know, right? Exactly. Because he's just like the Wizard of Oz, a true scam artist. So tell me, how do you find the shades of humanity playing an earlier version of Brenner, and where do you find shades of menace?
Well, I'm going to first shake off any public slights you've just hurled in my general direction and answer that beautifully articulated question. Can you repeat the question? No. So Matthew Modine has such an elegance, such an effortless certainty in his pursuit of his scientific method. And so playing Dr. Brenner, 25 years younger, it was really a meditation on the stages of life and growth we all go through. So I was wondering, in the TV show, we arrive at such a coiffed and put together man. What mistakes led to experience that led to that kind of pristine image? And so I try to find some baser instincts, some more chaotic energy. Maybe this is a younger man not as in control of his emotions. And at times in these early experiments, he makes mistakes, he overreaches, and we find the consequences to those overreaches in Henry.
Yeah, I'm struggling with that.
I think he would be a great conversationalist on a first date, personally.
Okay, that I can agree with.
Neuroscience, physics, whatever you want. I think he probably has a depth of knowledge that might be rather attractive.
Okay, so I'm giving Dr. Brenner a hard time. There is something about this character that is redeeming. I do think that he does want some level of good in the world. Hard to find, but he does want it to a certain extent, so I'll give that to you.
I will, just to put a pin in it, the New York Times did describe Dr. Brenner as evil. Evil, but handsome.
Hashtag Daddy Brenner.
Daddy Brenner.
My mom was so stoked.
I'm so glad that you're making your mom proud. That's lovely. Yes. All right, Gabrielle, I have a question for you. So, the role you play as Patty, you have such a strong connection with Henry in the show. Can you talk about this connection and why you feel the need to be so loyal to him?
Yeah, so when I originally read the script, there were so many points where Patty could literally just go, okay, I'm done. This guy's crazy. He's strange. He's making things move with his brain. Like, this is it.
Yeah, because it would have been it for me, maybe.
I mean, hey, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
But listen, Patty's favorite color is red. She loves those red flags.
Well.
So, as far as her connection with Henry is concerned, it really does come from that, focus, Burke. It really does come from that pain and that brokenness that she does have with that relationship with her father and that essential, inevitable isolation that she has. She recognizes in Henry that he also has a similar story, and she doesn't see a monster. She doesn't see a freak, as he's called in the play. She sees someone who's just simply different, and she has a beautiful line in Act 1 where it's a scene where, from Patty's point of view, Henry is having a panic attack. And he's bust a blood vessel in his nose, and he's bleeding. That's what she thinks is happening. And so he's crying in front of the entire class. It's really embarrassing. But she sits down next to him, and she essentially tells him the mistakes that he's had throughout his life, the things that make him weird, the things that make him different, are the things that make him beautiful. And that's why she sees him. And I think that's a beautiful reminder for all of us who are maybe a little weird, a little different. I know especially for myself that those are our superpowers. And, you know, through my journey of playing Patty, I've definitely found certain elements of myself that I'm like, ooh, that's a little ugly girl. You got that in there? But we're going to celebrate that, and we're going to accept that. And that's really, truly the connection between Patty and Henry. That's, you know, it's a tragic love story. We talk about, can love defeat fear? And I think it's a really timely theme, you know, for our world. And we have a very, in my opinion, controversial answer to that question. If love can defeat fear. And I'm excited that Patty and Henry get to explore that. Regardless of whatever you think the answer might be.
You know what? I really love Patty for that, to be
Yeah,
honest.
Patty's a real one.
Yes, because, I mean, at that age in high school, you know, there tends to be someone who is an outsider.
Yeah.
And, you know, groups tend to make that person feel very much in isolation and outside all the things. And so Patty says, you know what? Not on my watch. And so I love that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting because there were versions of the script where, as an actor, I wasn't sure if she was manipulating Henry.
Ooh.
And that was
Another villain.
extremely exciting for me because I was like, oh my God, is she lying? And I had a dialogue with Kate Treefry about it because there's a specific scene where she's basically asking Henry to find her mom. And she keeps asking, keeps pushing. And that was interesting to me because from the different dialogue and the different stage directions, it's portrayed that she does love him, but she's not respecting his boundaries. So Kate Treefry and I had a dialogue about it, and I'm a huge acting nerd. So I looked up the definition of Patty's name, Patricia. It means noble. So from a text perspective, sorry to get a little nerdy here, but from a text perspective, from her simple character anatomy, she can't help but do the right thing. So for my justification for that scene is she's not manipulating him. She knows that if she had the ability to help Henry solve this problem, if she had the superpowers, she'd do it in an instant. So it's more of a disconnect of, I would help you, why aren't you helping me? She can't understand. She doesn't understand he's afraid. She doesn't understand that it's an actual dangerous thing. He's trying to protect her. But when you come see the play, it's up to you. Is she manipulating him? Does she love him? That's my point of view. But
Does Patty have her own red flag?
is she the problem? Is she the drama? We don't know.
I think that's a really great point, Gabby. There's so many ellipses, little dots that happen in this show, and I feel what is such a testament to the writing, but also to the entire world that the Duffer brothers and collaborators have done with this IP is that there are so many different ways everything can go. And so it really is about all of us together going and experiencing it. And our show is setting up so much for season 5, and really to see and appreciate season 5, you're gonna have to come see our show to really fully get into it. And I wish that was like press speak, but that's just the truth of it. I mean, fans are coming up with theories at the door, and I really don't even think that they realize how much lore and world building is being subtly placed within even the imagery. But those ellipses allow for the change that we all do. What Alex was just talking about with Dr. Brenner is how do we grow, how do we adapt with what's in front of us? And our show may feel like it ends in one way and very well could be setting up something completely different. So we're excited to hear your theories.
I know I asked this earlier, but I'm going to ask it in a different way. How many people have not seen Stranger Things on Broadway? Great. Okay, cool. So see you soon.
Yeah.
Yes. Promise? Okay. All
Promise.
right.
Hey, friends don't lie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So one of the things that you will notice about this play, you just literally cannot talk about this production without talking about the special effects. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Congratulations on winning a Tony Award for the incredible special effects that take place within this show. The production takes theater magic to a whole new level. So, what has surprised you most about being in a show that is so incredibly technical?
Well, one of the things, you're always as an actor is looking for the truth. And when somebody presents something in front of you that is defined by beats and it's defined by standing in a certain place and reacting to music or a little beat that's playing that only I know about that the audience will never be able to hear, it's kind of hard to find the vulnerability and the honesty in making that happen. We have a crazy effect, and it's a big monster. If you know Stranger Things, if you've seen the play, you know what I'm talking about. Just because I saw so many hands, I'm not going to say anything. But it's really, really cool. But it has to make sense. It can't just be, wow, they spent a lot of money on that. It has to be this thing that evokes goosebumps in you. And I want to make that happen. We have these teleportation blackouts happening, and Stranger Things on stage could easily be a gimmick. Oh, wow, Demogorgon. Oh, there's blood. Oh, there's powers. It's like, we strived to create honesty through our work and to give something that people will go home remembering, that they will think, how the hell did they do that? Because we are redefining what it means to put a play on a stage every single night. And we do it sometimes with a bit of failure. Technical stuff does fail. But when it does fail, people love it. But at the end of the day, we're all just making magic, and we're all just trying to make it work, and we're all just trying to make it fun. And that's why I love working with these huge technical pieces for the very first time in my life, because you get to see things that you've never, ever seen before. It is pure magic. It is absolutely crazy. Yeah, it's just wild.
There were so many times in the play where I was sitting there like, how did y'all do that? Like, some of them I just literally cannot figure out.
Yeah.
So y'all are doing a great job.
It's strange.
Really.
It's strange because it's easier than you think.
Really?
But these guys...
Okay, tell me after.
No. No, just these guys, they worked on Harry Potter, they've worked on all the big technical shows. They are just masterminds at their craft. And they've one-upped themselves. We did it in London, and they had the sort of blueprints. And then here, we've really been able to let it take fold. So when you come along to the show, you're seeing us at 100% capacity. There is nothing that you will regret seeing, like, oh, I wish they'd done that more. No, we go to the max. And we're not afraid to show you everything that Stranger Things on stage should be.
Now, I know you have to keep the magic a secret, right? So can you talk to me a little bit about anything that changed from the London production until now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, what I just talked about with the big monster. I mean, that's more physical, and it goes into the audience, and it's like the
Whoa, 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 whoa.
nobody knows what it is. It's in the trailer. Yeah, a lot of it was actually story beats, delving into characters more, redefining the lore, working on characters, working on the trio. It was just a lot of everything. We took a full step back, and I mean, I know you guys. I mean, I think you read like a London script, maybe. Did you ever?
I mean, the thing about it is like on week 3, we did a run through in the space with some producers there and everything else, and that following week we quite literally rewrote the entire show. Because what it became about was we can do better, we can do more, and also we can elevate what all of these people are bringing to this moment right now. And when you have these incredible technical feats, and when you take those away, what's going to be left? Like Louie was saying, you want to have the heart, you want to have the sincerity, you want to have a full story so that people can connect to and still be a part of it with or without any of these technical elements. And so that rewrite was a huge shift. But I think everything just was a celebration of what all of the hard work that Louie and the rest of the company did over in the West End, and then said, can we go further? Can we go further?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to shift gears slightly. I want to know, are there any Easter eggs or nods to the Netflix series that diehard fans should look for when they see Stranger Things: The First Shadow on Broadway?
Hopper's Hawaiian shirts. It's a really pivotal story point in our play. So keep a lookout.
I mean, all of the parents, our first scene, we have picture day at school. It's the first day of school at Hawkins High, and it's every single adult that you've seen in the TV show now as a kid. And for those who know and love the show, you have such a treat before you, because you're getting all of the little shout outs to the children that they will, give birth to. And it's such a celebration of this long-standing community. Here's the reveal. I'm wearing one of my favorite character shirts, Eddie Munson.
Justice for Eddie.
And I would personally say as Hopper, I mean, Joyce, yeah, sure. But my true love in the show is Alan Munson, Eddie's family member. And part of what that is you get to see a true theater geek living it out to the fullest. And you watch that, and I fall in love with Eric, who plays our Alan Munson every single night, because he does it with such sincerity. And when I watch Eddie in the TV show, that playfulness, that Dungeons and Dragons imagination is just living, full well on stage every night.
Mm-hmm.
I feel so sad. I just do, because justice for Eddie.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, justice for Eddie.
Yeah. We do. That we do. No, justice for Barb. Don't get me started, because do not get me started. All right, so what I would love to know is, did you ever have the opportunity to meet the Stranger Things Netflix cast? What was that like when you met them for the first time? Was it instant chemistry? Are you all best friends? Is there a group chat? Tell me everything.
I got to meet Matthew Modine opening night, and we are the exact same height. So it was nice looking into him eye to eye. We booped each other on the exit in front of Matt and Ross Duffer. So yeah, pretty surreal.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, opening night was a star-studded event. I don't have Wi-Fi in my dressing room, but for some reason, I was able to open Instagram, and I saw Charlie Heaton, Natalia Dyer, Jamie Campbell Bower, all on our red carpet. And I was like, oh my God, I'm screaming, through my phone across the room. What do you mean they're gonna come watch us perform? I grew up watching them on my television screen. So yeah, we had a fair share of the Stranger Things team come on over and share love with us.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, period. So there's no group chat, just
In my mind, I'm best friends with Millie Bobby, so.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
take it. I will take it. All right, so we polled audience members for Stranger Things, The First Shadow on Broadway on Instagram, and here are some of your questions that you had for today's panel. So we're gonna start here with @Pay Elizabeth. What is your favorite pre-show ritual?
I
just learned about his.
I like to eat a packet of frozen peanut M&Ms.
Rosen, tell me more.
Peanut butter and chocolate has historically been a winning combination in the
Alex
Department of
Breaux is
Taste Buds.
also great on a first date.
In the Department of Taste Buds, peanut butter chocolate has historically been first round draft choice. And if you freeze them, you also get an extra crunch, which adds to the spectacularity of this particular candy.
Wow.
It's like playing jazz. You never know how many peanut M&Ms you're gonna have. Yeah, is there a melody? I can't hear it, but I'm hungry and I want some chocolate and peanut butter. Yeah.
All right. I have another question from Instagram. Or wait, were you gonna share?
Oh, I was like, can't follow that, so go for it.
Oh yeah, our fridge is full, so
Period. Okay, so we have from Marrero6672, Gabrielle, what was the most challenging part of being Patty Newby?
Oh, I think the physicality for sure. Patty's a very physical role. We have a turntable. We have 3 turntables. It looks kind of like an onion on stage, and each layer moves in a different direction. So learning how to, it seems simple, but learning how to walk in the revolve, my breath control so I don't sound like I'm out of breath because I'm essentially acting on a treadmill. That's been something that's been extraordinarily difficult. There's a lot of screaming in the play. Oftentimes I have to go from screaming to speaking dialogue to singing back to screaming. So it's a lot of vocal agility. So learning how to take care of my body, my voice, my mind, my spirit. It's a very dark show. I like to think that I'm a very happy person. So learning how to take care of the mental, I want to leave Patty at the theater. She deals with a lot of heavy themes. So I go home and I watch Friends. Or I watch Bluey. I know it's a preschool, thing, but it's what helps me regenerate and resurface back into Gabby's world. But yeah, I think that's probably the hardest thing is the physicality and taking care of the mental with it.
Yeah. I want to ask you about the mental because I feel like, obviously all of you have a journey with mental health, clearly. But Henry,
Yeah, some of us are ill.
I'm not trying to toast y'all. I'm just saying there's some deeply, troubled
Sick
people.
burn.
How do you live? Like, how's your life? Like,
yeah, well, I've gotten better, but like I remember last year my partner was really terrified of me because I'd have horrible night terrors. I guess I'll tell you this story, but it's quite scary. So there's 2 of these. So I woke up once in the middle of the night. I was asleep. I'm a sleepwalker and a sleep talker naturally, but through the show, I think it's gotten way worse. And I woke up and I would sit up, kind of like an exorcist, I don't have the core strength of this, but apparently it happens. I just go whoosh and I sit up. And I pointed to the door. I went back to bed. She was like, what the hell? And then I went up again, 10 minutes later, and pointed to the TV, just slightly across. And then I did it again, I did it again, I did it again. I was pointing to her side of the bed. So something I was pointing at over an hour, I just walked over to her side of the bed. And I don't remember any of this, obviously, but she's like, you gotta stop doing that. Another more night terror one is I woke up, apparently through my mind, I can remember this, there's 4 nuns tucking me into bed, and I woke up, and it's like an animalistic scream, like you're screaming for your life, like nobody should hear you scream like this. It was like, no, get it off me, get it off me. I was like, oh, hey, babe, just woken up. But aside from the night terrors, it's just a job.
No biggie. No biggie.
I do very much want to buy you some ice cream. I Aside from the night terrors, it is just a job. Wow. I admire you so much. I've seen the play 4 times now.
Oh, nice.
I'm a big fan, clearly. And having seen it so many times, I have always just wondered what infiltrates into your real life. Because doing that over and over again, 8 times a week, it is a lot on the body and on the mind.
Yeah, to speak seriously, it is a mental training exercise because, to do it truthfully, you really got to put yourself in there. And the way that Henry or, I would scream on stage and, want to vocally attack somebody or to really, cause harm to them, you have to be quite mean. And you can hold a lot of love for somebody, but you have a lot of trust with that person to be able to portray those emotions safely on stage. And I think that is what keeps the glue of me and the show together, is that the stuff me and Alex do is we go on a very rampant, very fast, very catastrophic emotional journey of Henry and Brenner as we delve into their relationship, basically pre-season 1, and what happened to them before 11. And it's exciting. It has to be fun. At the end of the day, you got to think, wow, man, I got you in that scene. You were crying. It's got to be a challenge, and it's got to keep it fun, or else you're just going to go into it, man, and you're just going to be like, I got to scream at somebody today. I don't want to do this, But it is. I try to tell as many people as possible. It's just a job. Enjoy it. It's very fun. Take it very seriously. But when you go home, man, I'm still Louie. I'm not going to take Henry home or else, who knows what could happen.
Right, correct. So, okay, let me ask you this. If you could play any other role in the show, which role would you choose?
I remember one time when we were rehearsing and we were doing like a cover situation where somebody was just stepping into Henry whilst I was in the room. And this guy was playing Walter. And Stephen, our director, was like, oh, Louie, can you just like do the Walter bit while he does this so he knows what to expect? And Walter laughs hysterically at Henry. And I really enjoyed that. And I think Walter would be cool because I kind of fit the brief for that character. I mean, I'm probably not allowed to swear, but he's a little S-H-I-T in our show. I think that'd be really fun. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Who would you play?
I mean, I already confessed. I love Alan Munson. I think the Conjure Man as a character and a conceit within our show is a lot of fun. And I think that would be a real blast.
I'd make a very menacing Dr. Brenner. A 5'3" Dr. Brenner that's carrying Henry around in the lab. That would be something. I'd pay to come see that show.
Erica Sinclair. I would love to have that tude in real life. Yeah. And she's hilarious, so she's great, yeah.
Can't spell America without Erica.
That's right. That's right. That's my mantra.
These responses are iconic. Love them. All right, so we have another question from SSSHATKU. Good handle for this person. So what is your favorite line in the show?
Well, I'll sometimes ad-lib a little, so the line is, I'm not your boy, but sometimes I'll scream, I'm not your effing boy.
That's certainly my favorite line.
Yeah.
Louis never really tells us when he's going to do it, and so we're all backstage about to do a very chaotic, organized chaos scene. Joyce leading us around, the play is about to open, 5 minutes to places kind of thing. And when that happens, we all, and honestly, I'll lead this into a compliment of Louis. Louis has a lot to carry in the show, clearly, as Henry Creel, and very easily Louis could be a total twat backstage, to put it lightly. And people, I think, would kind of give him grace to do so, and that is completely the opposite of what's happening. I mean, Louis is able to show up 110% every single day, and it is such a testament to the work and effort that not only he's put in, but also such a respect to our amazing crew that is making this show safely occur every single day. And for the rest of us, that line specifically, it's sort of a reminder to us that, maybe it has been a hard day, maybe there's been a lot of press, maybe you slept weird, maybe you didn't stretch as much today, but it's time to get back on the horse and get riding, because we got to tell this story. And so it's a major honor to have somebody who is able to be a leader through action every single day up there. So.
Thanks, man. That's so kind of you.
Mine is probably, until my dad, he fights like a girl. It's one of Burke's lines. And he purposefully makes his voice crack every night. And I'm supposed to be really moody and upset, but every night I'm like, okay, Burke, chill out. Because it's so funny. Like, your line delivery of that is just, it's great. I love it.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Nice.
It is adorable, Hopper. Henry has a line very late in the play where he says, "No one made me anything. I made myself." And that just gives me the biggest chills, because someone's trying to tell him it's not his fault and it's his opportunity to say, no, I'm choosing this. And that's frightening to me, but also resonant. Because I do think, like, my experience of the world mimics some of the characters in the story, where they're the outsiders or they're the new kid at school over and over and over again. They have to break in. And often you have to, at some point, rely on yourself and develop that own steeliness that I think Patty has and Gabby has as a person. So yeah, no one made me anything, I made myself, I think is somehow a threat, a warning, but also there's some self-possession to it that I think has some import to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think on yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think one of my favorite scenes in the show is what I'm trying to remember which Brenner is it. It's when it's Captain Midnight. You go into
Battleground.
Battleground. Yeah. We call it Battleground, and it's this really surreal moment where you've got two Henrys on stage. One's like going through a medical procedure with Brenner in the back doing a bunch of tests. You got another one who's in the void alongside Patty. There's a lot going on, right? Explosions, the perspective on the stage is changing. Every technical element that you've seen in the show is coming in some way, like being utilized in this moment. There's a lot happening. But it is, to me, the standoff between Patty and between the darker sides of Henry, the Vecna sides of Henry, and the way that these two clash it out every single night on stage, and watching the power, a very early power of Vecna begin to sort of almost convince Patty to also believe I made myself, and to watch a character who says, no, I must stand my ground, I'm not afraid, and mean it. You know, it's that constant war. It's that constant war. That's what makes that line so heartbreaking later, because even in that moment, you go, but Henry, you do have a choice. You do have a choice. It's not so final. And, you know, when we have these characters put together, it's an opportunity to learn things and see different perspectives that we would not have come to on our own. It is really the gift of these clashes that happen again and again.
Yeah. Well, I do also have a favorite line from the show, but I will not share it because I don't want to spoil for anyone. I just think it is so wonderfully done. Patty, Gabrielle, it is your line.
I dare you to say it.
I can't. I will not.
What?
I will tell you after.
I'll say it. Whisper it to me.
Oh, okay, you know when you're up on the platform?
The United States government can go to hell.
That is my favorite line.
Yeah. I knew that was your favorite line. I just wanted you to say it.
Listen.
Because it's one of mine too, but like I can't be conceding to pick my own line. Come on now.
It's so good.
Thanks.
It's just so good. You know, and I think that one of the reasons why I like this line and why I like seeing theater in general is because when you go to the theater, it is a reflection of life. Yeah. It is a reflection of humanity, and things hit differently depending on what is happening in the world.
Sure.
And so that line hits me so deeply because you're so angry when you say it, and you mean it with every fiber of your being, and I also do too when I say it. So, felt.
Well, that scene is so interesting. It's like the only scene I have with Alex, where Patty in her final moments is still fighting for Henry. And she says that line, and things go awry. I mean, it's one of my favorite scenes because our incredible creative team decided that we, the three of us, would be on this platform. And as the argument heats up, the platform rises. And it's a visual representation of, okay, something's about to break. Something is about to go really, really sideways. But it is really emotional in that moment to even, say those lines that tend to be hard-hitting because, you spend 3 hours hoping that this guy will, turn around, and you see this girl who's clearly in danger, but she loves this kid so much, and she sees somehow the goodness in him even when he's convulsing and actively being possessed in front of her. Yeah, it's a hard-hitting scene, and it's exciting every night to do, and it's a gift to be able to do it with 2 other talented actors.
Yeah, and you kill it.
Thank
kill
you.
it. All right, so I think I only have time for one more question, or I can't read that sign. Can you? I can do 2? Great, thanks. Well, I have a question from @GRETE_Kraus. What do you think the phrase "justice through strength and courage" means in this story?
Ooh, that's a great question. Justice through strength and courage.
Well, so, okay. Do you want to start?
No,
or
for the person who says it, please.
It's really interesting because it's a connection between Patty and Henry. It's a quote from Captain Midnight. It's one of their favorite comic books, one of their favorite characters that they both share. I've always recognized it as a layer of their acceptance. It's a layer of the tiramisu of I've got your back, I've got you, I understand you. Patty uses it as kind of a war cry in Act 2 when she's trying to find Henry, she's trying to bring him back home. So it can mean a number of things. It's their greeting, that's how they meet each other. In the very first scene that we see them in, it's almost like your favorite song. If someone starts to sing your favorite song, you have to join in. It's fun because some nights I play it like it's someone presses a button and she has to say it. And then others are more of like a slow realization of like, oh, okay, you're one of me. So I don't know. It can mean multiple things. It's up for interpretation, but by definition, it's from Captain Midnight.
Yeah, did you want to jump in?
I kind of view it as a little bit of the mantra before going into it all. There's a lot of characters who stumble upon wild things, and it's one of the few moments in the show in which we know we're stepping into something big. And in that moment, Patty is very much alone. And in the moments that Henry also says Henry feels very much alone and has found a community through this love of this comic book character and this superhero. And I think that as that mantra pushes these characters forward, wherever they can find it out in the world, they try to latch onto it because it's much better to not be alone when stepping into those very spooky things.
Well, with that, I'm going to wrap it up with one more question, and it is from @Henrys_radio_static. Yeah, I'm going to follow them immediately.
Well done.
What's been the best experience so far from being in this show?
Oh, what, the radio static coming from me? Best experience, man. Experiencing a whole new cast change and grappling with new story ideas and new people and their personalities and learning and growing with a new family again. And also, just going into it another year and mentally preparing for that. It's been great. It's been so much fun with this new lot, and it's just amazing. I don't know.
Yeah, I think to that point, I just got a little emotional thinking about that. We have 34 people on stage that swings, covers, understudies who go on stage every single night. And that does not include all of our front of house staff and all of our behind the scenes folks who are making the technical magic happen. And it truly is a small town of Hawkins there at the Marquee Theater. And I just think about some of those first rehearsals of everybody coming together, like first watching a Demogorgon stretch, on stage. I think about us joining together before our opening night and the curtain closing and us hearing the trailer for season 5 play and hearing the response and remembering what we are a part of. This group of people across ages is really, it reminds me of that community element that we're talking about in the show so much, and it makes me very grateful in these wild times to have such an innate community built in to where I go and spend 8 shows a week.
Beautifully said, Mr. Swanson. I think for me, the best part has been growing as an artist. I've done a lot of television growing up. It's been a certain type of television, and this is very much not what I'm used to. And I think proving to myself as an artist that I can hold down a story, I can have a certain type of character development and character ambition and drive. And I feel like Stephen Daldry, Kate Tree-Fry, and Justin Martin gave me a certain level of courage that I didn't recognize that I needed. And growing as a human, growing as a young woman, it's been a time. And there's just something special about theater specifically that teaches you something about community. It enhances your discipline, your responsibility, and your overall artistry. Again, huge acting nerd, so I'm excited to embark on this journey and see where the end of the year takes me. But yeah, I think it's just been a beautiful time to share space with other artists who truly care about the work and truly care about the story that we're telling on stage each night. It's a gift.
To reiterate, getting to act with these beautiful souls every night is wonderful. The fans, the audience every night, having the honor to entertain you, hopefully make you think, make you jump out of your seat and clutch to the person next to you, and then meet you afterwards. We have a stage door. If you come to the show, please flag us down and tell us that you were at this panel. It'd be great to meet you and sign your playbill or talk about your favorite character on the TV show or the play. But yeah, it's a real distinct honor to have a beginning, middle, and end story be animated and have the challenge to produce that for you and hopefully make change something inside you.
Yes. If you were one of the people that raised your hand and you said that you had not seen Stranger Things: The First Shadow, I want to encourage you, obviously, to go and see this play. I think I saw 84 shows last year, and this year I am getting close to 90 already. And out of all of the shows that I have personally seen, this is my favorite play. And I'm not just saying that because I'm hosting the panel, but because I'm literally obsessed. So I want to encourage you to experience this play. It is so, so good, and I think all of you are going to love it because you obviously came here to learn more about it. So with that being said, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you to this incredible cast.
And big shout out to our friend here at the end who has been leading us through this journey today. I mean, can we take a look at the fit, please? Come on now. But it's not just the fit, it's really the intimacy and the care in which you've offered up these questions, and you can tell the enthusiasm, and that's what we're hoping to bring every single day. So thank you for that.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
All right.
Listen, enjoy Comic-Con, everyone, and I can't wait to see all of you out there.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, enjoy. Bon appetit.
so much for your questions.
Oh, appreciate that. Thank you.